4.
Not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4. Unbelievable.
Welcome to Bizarro World. Yes, it is. It's Bizarro World. And the Cubs, by the way, now lead 5-4. You go into a season with Max Scherzer, Steven Strasburg, and Patrick Corbin as your 3 starting pitchers. Arguably the best rotation in baseball. The other team could be the worst we've ever seen. But in Bizarro World, the Washington Nationals are barely ahead of the streaking Miami Marlins, who've now won 6 in a row. And you've got a game tonight where the Nationals have been getting played against by the market all day long, and the line now is like 135 or that range. Now the Marlins with Pablo Lopez on the mound tonight, who has been very good at times this season, one of their young core of somewhat talented starting pitchers. And, well, we'll see if the Nationals can stop their streak here. Not with my money.
I mean, exactly. I mean, the people are like, oh, my God, the money's coming on Miami. No, it's not. It's coming against Washington because Washington can't be laying right now, not with Kyle McGowan on the hill. And it doesn't matter who's on the hill.
Right. And here's the thing. McGowan's probably going to be out there, 50 pitches?
Who knows?
That means the Washington bullpen for like 6 innings in this game. Good luck with that.
And all of a sudden, Miami, I mean, this is the Miami team, their line drive rate was good, and you're like, all right, well, when's that going to show any signs of life? Well, all of a sudden, they get, this streak, and admittedly, it came against the Mets when the Mets were ice cold, and it's come against the Tigers when the Tigers are ice cold. Well, guess what? The Nats are ice cold, too.
Yeah, they are. And the Nationals, the Marlins, probably have more motivation. They have. I'm serious when I say that because they have a chance to get out of last place this weekend. And anything but last place is like a World Series for that franchise this year because that's how bad they are on paper.
Well, I mean, how do you make money with bad teams? Either you bet against them or you find a streak like this and you ride it. Clearly, Miami is a team that the betting market's paying attention to. And, of course, Lopez, he's thrown gems twice in his last 3 starts. The one in between, however.
That was a nightmare.
Was as ugly as it gets.
The Phillies and Brewers will match up tonight. Jared Eichhoff was Jared Eichhoff was a big flop in 2017. Big flop. Comes up in 2018 after an injury. He got back into the rotation and looked like, holy cow, this guy, he's found something. Well, whatever it is, he seems to have lost it in the last 2 starts and is kind of resembling the Eichhoff that we saw last year, who was bad. He'll face Chase Anderson, whose pitch count is expanding now as he gets healthy. The Brewers will have Christian Yelich back in the lineup tonight. This should be a good matchup. This is probably the most fun series of the weekend. 2 pretty good baseball teams. The Brewers have a knack for pulling out close games. That might be the edge in a series like this against the Phillies, and it might be the edge tonight.
And we've seen a fair bit of money already come on Milwaukee, in large part because of Yelich, but being upgraded to.
He is in the lineup.
Yeah, okay, right on. So being upgraded to in the lineup as opposed to not being in the lineup, which is a significant upgrade. But when you talk about Milwaukee, I like backing them with guys like Anderson on the hill. This is your chance to make money with the Brewers at a cheap price because, and Davies is the same way in a lot of sense.
Yeah.
The advanced metrics aren't there, but you're getting a good team with a good bullpen. They're playing winning baseball without having to lay a premium price.
See, here's the thing on advanced metrics. They're never going to point you in the direction of a guy who pitches 6 innings and gives up like 3 or 2, somewhere from 2 to 4 runs. Because those are really average guys on metrics. But when they're on a team like Milwaukee, we talked about this so many times with Wade Miley of the Houston Astros, who we'll talk about later on. He's a 6-inning, 3-run guy. That's good on a team that can hit like that. That's all you want on a team. It'd be great if he goes out and pitches a shutout, but if he just goes out and pitches his average game, they got a real good chance to win. That's Chase Anderson.
Don't get bombed. Anderson, has he given up more than 2 runs in a game this year? He has not. What does he do? He walks batters. Absolutely. Fly ball outs. Absolutely. Strikeout rate, not there. What does the advanced metric marketplace fixate on? It fixates on strikeouts, good. Walks, very, very bad. Fly balls, very bad. Ground balls, very good. And when you have a guy that, okay, guess what? His last 2 starts, he has 20 fly ball outs and only 3 on the ground, and he's given up 7 walks. Awful numbers for the advanced metric guys. I think there's a way to make money with guys like that.
Here's my seesaw game of the night, because I've looked at both sides of this game, and at one point I liked one side, and at one point I liked the other side, and that's the Braves and Cardinals. What I liked on Mike Fultonevich is after a series of bad starts coming off the injury list, he had what appears to be a good start last time out. Encouraging. Maybe a buy sign on Fultonevich. And then I looked inside the game, and his velocity went back down again last start. That's a sign to me that he might not be totally healthy. And then he might have just had a fortunate game because he still gave up another long ball. He's had all kinds of problems with the home run so far. So I went from one side to the other on Fultonevich. Then I looked at Miles Michaelis, and you can pretty much throw out 2018 at this point. Michaelis is back to kind of what he was before he went to Japan, which is he's not bad. He's not good either, okay? He's a middle-of-the-road guy. He's kind of like Chase Anderson. So, no, his metrics aren't going to be particularly good. He'll probably do enough to keep you in most games. He'll occasionally get bombed. He was not a guy who was a 20-game winner. Cardinals are playing lousy baseball. The Braves are playing good baseball. But the Braves were off at a marathon in San Francisco yesterday while St. Louis had the day off. So, in the end, I just looked at the seesaw and said, the hell with it. I'm not getting on that ride either way, because I'm probably just going to be on the wrong side. It's a coin flip, and I got away from the game completely.
Yeah, I was a little tempted by the over, and the over got steamed up early, and then, okay, easy game to pass on. All that being said, you talk about Fulton Awitz. Here's his quote after the last start. There's still a lot of work to be done. I felt like we broke off a pretty good outing just for the mechanics. Just cleaning that up made all my pitches a little cleaner.
Yeah, but he's a fastball guy whose fastball went back down 2 miles an hour.
I know.
That's not a good indication.
Snitker. Here's what Snitker says. If we get Fulte back, note the if at the start of that. If we get Fulte back to where he was, that's just going to make our club better. He's shown he can do it. From the last start to this start, he's been through a whole lot. They did a lot of work, and that was a good outing to build on. Last time he saw St. Louis, that game was over in the second inning. I had an over ticket in that game, and it worked out very nicely for me because Fulton Awitz got lit up. I need to see him have a good start before I back him.
The flip side of that is the RaysIndians, where we've got one of the best starters in baseball. Some people argue the best starter in baseball, against a guy who's supposed to have a limited arsenal, where everything keys off the slider. Well, guess what? He's better than that. He's better than I thought he was. Shane Bieber's just a good pitcher. I don't think he's in Blake Snell's category, but he's... Tell that to the last opponent he faced, where he pitched a complete game shutout and struck out 15. It's not the A matchup of the night. That's the Red Sox and Astros. But this actually might be the best pitching matchup of the night because Bieber is right now the best starter on the Indians, and Blake Snell is just a great pitcher. The market's favoring Tampa, and I don't disagree with him.
Yeah, I mean, if we look at everything besides the starting pitching in this ball game,
right,
it's pretty one-sided because, I mean, Cleveland... This has been a bad homestand for the Indians. Now, 4 straight losses. Did they get the 4-1? I think they got the 4-1 of those games. But, I mean, the offense, even with guys hitting, this team cannot buy a clutch hit.
No. And they really stink against lefties.
Defensively, they're not great.
Nope.
The bullpen has shown, there's a lot more cracks than Tampa's bullpen has. So... Even with Bieber as being a bet-on hurler, and the Indians have been winning for Bieber, and that's one thing that at this stage of the season, I do pay a fair bit of attention to. Who are the bad teams coming with good effort for, and who are the good teams losing with, and that sort of thing. Cleveland's a bad team, mediocre team maybe.
Cleveland might not hold on for second in that division. I think the White Sox might catch. The White Sox have a young, energized young team. I
like nothing about the Indians right now. I would
not be shocked if the White Sox catch the Indians, especially if the Indians end up dealing Trevor Bauer, which is becoming more and more of a likelihood.
I mean, I like nothing about the Indians right now, and they're not the team that I have any interest in doing anything but fading.
Let's look at a couple other teams before the break.
Let me look at that. By the way, there's only 2 games separated the Indians and the White Sox right now.
Yeah, I know. And I'm not making the case the White Sox are good.
Win, a big series for the White Sox in Houston.
It sure was. Splitting down there, and Lucas Giolito right now. Oh, I want to talk about him for a second. Because we talked about him at length yesterday.
Final exam.
And then he went out and not only passed the flying exam, he beat the crap out of the professor administering the exam along the way. But there's one thing that I did notice, this is why I watch. There's way more effort in his delivery. He's changed his torque somewhat. He's throwing harder, but I mean,
the clock's ticking.
It's the max effort delivery now, and I would This is a pitcher I'm going to watch carefully to see if his velocity starts to drop, because that's going to be a sell sign of Giolito. I hope he doesn't get hurt. But his delivery now worries me. It's that big circular rotation, and those types of guys, oh, boy, you got to watch pitch counts and usage on them.
That's an excellent thing to pay attention to over the summer. Now, is Giolito a big guy? Because sometimes
he's 6'6".
Yeah, because sometimes I worry about the guys that are $170 and they're pitching.
No,
in
he's
August.
not that. No,
No,
he's not. It's not like Johan Santana, where you're expecting his elbow to be faster than the ball at some point. I mean, that was inevitable with Santana. But and his mechanics right now are really
it was inevitable as soon as he went to the Mets. That's what the Mets do.
Well, and then they decided 149 pitches was okay as long as he got the no-hitter.
Which he did.
Yeah, he did.
The Mets needed a no-hitter.
Hey, by the way, the Mets, big. This is big. I don't know. Did you see it?
They didn't fire Callaway again?
No, the Mets signed Irvin Santana to a minor league contract today. I tweeted that they beat out an assisted living facility for his contract, for his services. All right, we'll take a break. Oh, no, I did want to touch on one team before the break. Look, I don't know how the Yankees are winning every game.
They are?
Okay, I honestly, I'm not betting against them. I'm not betting on them. I just don't know how this is happening. I mean, it's half the Scranton Wilkes-Barre Yankees, and they just can't lose.
So every year in the NFL, there's the one team that the stats are terrible and they got a pick six in this game, and the other game they had a kick return touchdown on a flag there, and people are like, no, this team they're 5-1, but they're total fraud, and they start betting against them every game. And that team every year there's one team like that the fraud team, and they just keep winning and they burn all. The Yankees are that team right now. You don't want to bet against. I mean, they're finding, when you have a team that finds ways. It doesn't matter how they find ways. When they find ways, it can defy description. Although the schedule's been friendly for them.
But I know, but you still got to go out and win the games. And by the way, I think one thing that has come to a screeching halt. Aaron Boone better go back to the broadcast booth complaints. I think Aaron Boone's doing a pretty good job with this Yankees team, don't you? We'll take a break. We will talk to Kelly Stewart next.
The Las Vegas Sportsline.
MJ Christensen at Boca Park. More than just a store that sells jewelry, Cliff Miller.
Oh, absolutely. We're your one-stop shop. Whatever it is in jewelry that you need, whether it's a repair, appraisal, we've got 4 certified gemologist appraisers on site, so we do most of the appraisals in Las Vegas.
Take your dated heirloom and create something new. MJ Christensen, something special for the love of your life. Located at Boca Park. Follow us on Facebook for exclusive offers.
With John Lyons from Lyons Physical Therapy, the ratings for LPT are as good as they get, 5 out of 5 stars. What makes Lyons Physical Therapy unique as a treatment option?
Yeah, Dave, and we're thankful for that. We've had great patients and customers over the years that have given us honest reviews. I think what separates us from other companies is that we pay attention to our patients. We individualize their treatment plan. We take our time and use our manual therapy skills and our hands to actually work on every patient. These patients aren't just a number. We're actually trying to help them, and we listen to their needs and what works best for them.
LionsPTLV.com, 702-476-0222.
Hello, friends. This is Thomas Johnson from Joe's Seafood Prime Steak and Stone Crab. Need a great idea for lunch or dinner? Your best bet is Joe's, one of the most popular dining destinations on the Strip. Joe's provides the ideal setting for private parties with accommodations for up to 150 guests. Stop by to see us at the Forum Shops at Caesars and ask for Thomas Johnson, your maitre d'.
We're going to the bottom of the 8th at Wrigley. And the Reds have taken the lead. It's a wild one at Wrigley, 6-5, Cubs lead. That is not going to be involved with our Joe's Angle of the Day.
That's bottom 9.
Is it bottom 9?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. The Cubs took the 5-4 lead in the bottom of the 8th, and then the Cincy took the 6-5 lead in the top of the 9th.
So we have the classic version of the blown save here.
Yes.
Okay. I don't look at 8th inning blown. I think that's an unfair stat. It's not a blown save in the 8th inning. The game doesn't end in 8 innings. That should be changed to a blown hold. It should. It should. I'm a stickler for stats like that.
I'm not even going anywhere with a blown hold.
Well,
I'll get in trouble on the air talking about that.
How about a Joe's Angle of the Day?
Yes, that I can do for sure. from Ralph Michaels, courtesy of Ralph Michaels. This is the game we talked about a little bit earlier, the Nationals and the Marlins tonight.
Something bad for the Nationals or something
It
good?
is something bad for the Nationals. There are so many bad things for the Nationals. We're just loading up on them. Talk about building a case. The Nationals are 19-31 this season.
That's hard to believe. A .380 winning percentage for a team with that rotation. Wow.